In my home office, I have a special chair. I call it my prayer chair. And opposite the chair on the wall is filled with crosses of different shapes and sizes from across the country and the world. And each cross is unique. Some are traditional, some are abstract. Others are bright and joyful, reflecting the local culture. This past year, in the midst of our long, dark winter of isolation, I found that meditating on these crosses gave me hope and comfort. It seemed to open my eyes and to sharpen my spiritual vision. I brought with me today my favorite cross. It's made out of railroad nails, and it has this rose-colored heart in the middle, which kind of matches our vestments here. It's a very heavy cross. Before COVID-19, I used to bring this with me to hospital and nursing home visits, and patients would like to put it on their chest. They like the heavy weight of the cross, and they like to be able to kind of rub this rose-colored stone heart in the middle. I was often told by many of them that it provided comfort and joy even amid their struggles and difficulties. This cross, with its heart rose-colored stone in the middle, is a powerful reminder of what we celebrate today. The fourth Sunday of Lent is also known as 0d2c18ee Sunday. It's about the halfway point of Lent. 0d2c18ee is the Latin word for rejoice. It's one of the 2 times of the year where we get to wear these rose-colored vestments. And the color rose is the symbol for joy. 0d2c18ee Sunday is a time for all of us to take a break from being sorrowful during Lent and to rejoice in the love and in the mercy of God. Today, as we rejoice because it is a day of hope, as our Lenten journey builds towards that great celebration of Easter, a journey which we have been preparing ourselves since Ash Wednesday, some 25 days ago. We rejoice in the sacrifice that Christ made for us on the cross, for our eternal salvation, scattering the darkness of sin and death with his light. This light, the light that gives us warmth and comfort during our hardships and sufferings that we encounter in life. But also, as we heard in our reading from Paul, it challenges us to be children of the light, producing goodness and righteousness and truth through our words and our deeds. Other names used for the fourth Sunday in Lent are Refreshment Sunday, or I like this one, Mothering Sunday, referring to the joy you and I have of being sons and daughters of God through our baptism. This year at St. Elizabeth's, we have much to rejoice because at the Easter Vigil in 21 days, we will have 9 adults who will be baptized and be received into the church. And in the following week, we'll have another 7 adults that will make their confirmation. As we heard, we had 114 young children, young adults make their confirmation this weekend. So truly, we have much to rejoice in. You know, the word baptism comes from a Greek word which means to plunge into water, to kind of wash and then emerge out of the water, reborn as a new person, a new creation, with our eyes spiritually opened to the light of Christ. Our dramatic gospel passage today takes place during the backdrop of a Jewish feast commemorating the challenges and the difficulties that they experienced during their 40-day journey of wandering in the desert following their escape from slavery in Egypt. It's a celebration of faithful endurance in the face of adversity. And this ancient Jewish liturgy used water from the pool of Siloam and light from these large menorah candles. It's against this backdrop of water and light that Jesus heals the man born blind. And what I found so powerful and moving is that the light of the world uses his own divine essence with earthly elements to produce a healing salve to anoint the eyes of this poor man. If you think about it, spittle, mud, and the fingers of Jesus mix both his humanity and his divinity. To be healed, the blind man must cooperate with Jesus by washing himself symbolically as a baptism. His sight is restored, and he becomes a witness not just to his physical healing, but his eyes are opened, and slowly he begins to see the truth of Jesus. He comes to the light, while those like the Pharisees who disbelieve become spiritually blind. We all face darkness in our lives. Sometimes it's through our own actions, and sometimes it just happens as part of our trials of life. Sometimes it's the spiritual poverty of consumerism and materialism. Sometimes it's addiction, not just to drugs and alcohol, but maybe to work or sports or video games. Sometimes darkness descends over us because of the trials and burdens of life, such as caring for a sick child, or if you're in the sandwich generation, caring for a sick parent at the same time. Maybe it's the loss of a job or a broken friendship, the death of a loved one, or declining health. Amid our despair, we can feel alone. But darkness doesn't have the last word. We have a merciful God whose love is freely given to us on the cross. He does not abandon us, but he sends his Son, the light, into the world. Christ is that healing salve that binds our wounds. Like the man born blind in our gospel, we are invited to wash ourselves in his grace by embracing the cross and participating in Christ's mission as his disciple. We, in essence, become cruciformed by living the Christ as a sign of hope. And hope is God's grace working in us. Our spiritual eyes are opened, and we become transformed. Today, as we come to the Eucharist, Christ's radiant splendor shines upon us. May we go forth from this church as beacons of hope, scattering the darkness in a world in need of Christ's love. Today, on Laetare Sunday, let us rejoice in the light of the risen Christ. God bless you.